Hello, everybody. I almost said good morning, but I don't know when you will access this. Even after an era of COVID and Zoom, um, it's still a little awkward making these things. So it's weird getting back into it, but I am very eager to be able to actually start the year focusing on instruction and assessment and all the things that go with that and in between and all that good stuff. So I just want to do a brief introduction or reintroduction to some initiatives that we were either starting or were ongoing prior to COVID, because we're going to pick up the ball and start running again. So this will just be a brief foray into what we're going to accomplish this year. And you may remember one of the initiatives that we were working on was Workshop Model for Instruction. We've done a lot of work in literacy, but it's not just a literacy piece. It's also something that is good for each class. It's more of a structure for teaching, not how to teach, but how to utilize your time most efficiently. It's something that the district really believes in. And I know as a former teacher, when I would hear of a new initiative, I'd think, oh, give it 2 years and it'll be something else. But this is something I, as a teacher and an administrator, have seen the results in and really feel strongly in. And the good news is it really is tied to things that we're already doing. So it's not about reinventing the wheel. I'd like to quickly just jump into some of those things. You may remember at the end of 2019, we polled the staff asking them various questions about instructional techniques and procedures in the class. These are associated with Workshop Model. And a lot of the things that we're looking for Workshop Model are things that we were actually already doing. And things that I think everyone would just consider good teaching, ranging from types of instruction to using assessment appropriately. These are all things that we're already doing most of the time, and if not, then we're going to adjust. So I would like to send this back out because we've obviously in 2 years have changed quite a bit, whether that is new staff or staff making adjustments to how they've taught before and have grown. So be on the lookout for that. But here's that example of Workshop Model having those elements of good teaching baked in. So teachers, they all felt that we were connecting new material to previous learning. Well, that's Workshop Model and to do now. We have teachers modeling processes or strategies. Well, that's part of the mini lesson. We have student work time, which is very important. We're going to talk about that. And then, areas where we may need to improve, using an exit ticket. How are we assessing? How are we moving on? How are we informing our instruction? These are important things that we need to know when it comes to our kids and our instruction. So our focus this year, Workshop has different elements from a do now to a mini lesson, the student work, the share out, and the assessment. So it's really 5 pieces. We're going to start with 3 this year, and that includes the boards in front of your room, do nows, and exit tickets. And we're going to share best practices, and we're going to build for what students need. But quickly, I'll jump into sort of what we're thinking for these 3 things. So throughout the year, admin is going to really focus on these 3 particular elements of Workshop. We've actually always had it in the evaluation system, but it wasn't something that teachers could see. It was more for us to start seeing Workshop in action. And an initiative that we have that we'd like to roll out is using the boards in your room appropriately, whether that's a whiteboard, smartboard, chalkboard. We want to build commonalities within the school. And that ranges from language to just policies and procedures. And students need to know when they come in, what are they expected to do? What are they expected to learn? And what are they charged with? So a whiteboard or the smartboard or the chalkboard, it's very important. It's the information center of starting your class. So we're going to start coming around and looking at boards. I'm going to present some that teachers have that I think are wonderful examples. but you can make it your own. But these are things that we think are important to have on there. An agenda of some sort, the learning objectives, whether that will be a competency or student will be able to. We're not married to that specifically. A do now of what kids are doing when they come in, and then ultimately at the end, the exit ticket. How are you assessing them? What does that look like? And good teaching refers to this throughout the class. So it's the day before school starts as I make this video. Our expectations are not to have you have a perfect board tomorrow. So I've created a date for a soft deadline on this. It's September 9th, and that's when admin will begin looking at boards for workshop elements. Please see an administrator, whether it's me, Jen, or Brian, with any questions on what a board should look like, what you should include, what you shouldn't include. You feel free to steal from the slide we just showed, but if you want something more or different, or you have a real feel for something that you need to speak with us about, by all means come in. And we're going to tie this September 9th date also to the self-evals and goals for the year. So it just gives you a little bit of a window of time. So again, ask questions on that. We'll get into do nows and exit tickets a little bit later, but expect to get, some handouts to read, whether it's in your email or physical mailbox, that I think might be helpful. They would be informative and things that I've seen teachers have great success with. So they'd be great use of your time. But anyway, I promised this would be brief, so I'm trying my best. So again, I'm really excited that we get to actually circle back and focus on what we all came here for, and that's the kids, but we're focusing on the instruction of our kids and leading them to better places, and hopefully a little less conversation on masks and vaccines and all that stuff. So like always, email us, knock on our door if it's closed, or just come on in. We're here to help, and thanks for taking the time.